Hello my friends, welcome here. Today I wanted to share with you about EMDR. I have done EMDR now for 4-ish years. It has changed my life. Literally feel like a different person. I can't even believe how far I have come since I started EMDR therapy and the kind of person I was, the things I struggled with. It is a night and day difference. And I wanted to share all the details with you today. So my name is Amy Esther. If you aren't, I've dealt with some depression, some severe anxiety, night terrors, a lot of struggles in that area, which is why I thought to go to EMDR. But I also have chronic fatigue with Lyme disease, EDS, POTS, gut issues, endometriosis, PCOS, just like lots of problems all over my body. EMDR was mainly focused on helping my mental health. I have seen some great changes in my physical health as well. I just think the body and the brain are so connected. Although all of my pain, unfortunately, was not healed from EMDR, it has helped in that way as well. I am still doing EMDR to this day. When I started, I had been to multiple therapists. I experienced traumatic things in my teen years and thought I dealt with it well, but what I've realized now is I held in a lot of emotions. I pushed down my emotions. Instead of feeling the things that I should have felt, I worked, I pushed myself, and I pushed down my feelings to make it through the days. I'm grateful for my brain. It was trying to protect me. It was trying to help me during that time, and its way of doing that was to kind of shut down to the point that I had a lot of blanks of my memory from that time. That was my brain's way of coping, to go into denial and work. And it's very interesting that now my body is so fatigued. I went through a time where the only way to cope with my emotions was to work, to go to actual work. I was working multiple jobs for many years. I was dancing, constantly moving. And then my body went the opposite direction, almost gave up. So fatigued, so tired. I truly think those are connected. I think when you have emotional stress, sometimes it's going to come out in a different way if you don't deal with it in a healthy way. That is what started this journey. I had done therapy multiple times and never found help. The turning point for me was when I had just had my second baby and I was so anxious at night I couldn't sleep. I would feel scared and I didn't really understand what was going on at the time, but I felt so terrified. And I would do things like check on my baby multiple times and that kind of new mom stuff. But I also just felt unsafe in my home, even though logically I knew I was safe. Emotionally, I didn't. All day I was fine. No anxiety, just normal life. But at night, as soon as my brain realized it was time to get ready for bed, I would feel extreme anxiety. And I would wake up with night terrors every night, screaming. I would wake up my poor husband just screaming, seeing the ceiling fall on us, seeing spiders crawling up the wall, seeing a person in my room coming at me. And then I would scream, wake myself up, and then I would just feel so scared. When I wasn't seeing things in my sleep, I would have nightmares, and it was pretty much every night. And I kind of chalked it up to I'm scared to sleep because I might have nightmares. Now I realize that was not the case. I think I would have the nightmares and be scared to sleep because of the emotions I was holding on to. I went to my therapist, told him this, and he said, well, here's some things to do to help you sleep. I think this is normal for a new mom. And he gave me the typical sleep help. And I was like, I'm already doing all of that. The moment that he said, this is normal for a young mom, that's when I knew, I don't think he understands me. This does not feel normal. I remember talking to someone about it, EMDR. They had night terrors like me, did EMDR one time and their night terrors went away. I was so against therapy because of that experience that I was like, I don't think therapy is helping me. I don't feel any better. I don't feel like I'm getting tools to help with anxiety. I went against it until I gave in and I tried it. My therapist did not do EMDR the first day, like my friend had said they had experienced. My therapist said, we need to unpack a lot more before we even start EMDR. So it was probably 3 or 4 months of unpacking before we did EMDR. This therapist did things totally different. She was not looking at the logical side of my brain. She was looking at the deep emotional side that didn't make sense. And now I see the difference between being worried and being anxious. Being worried is being fearful of something that makes sense. Being anxious is being worried about something that doesn't make sense. When it doesn't make logical sense, I know I've tipped into anxiety. She'd have me look at pictures that stuck out to me. She'd ask me questions that were so different than I'd ever been asked. And she wouldn't have me just sit and word vomit all the things going on. She would dive deeper. And it was different. From the beginning, I knew it was different. And the way she described anxiety, I have kept with me every day since. And that is, anxiety is trying to tell me something. I truly believe that. Now when I feel anxious, I know that something's off and I can look back and see, oh, this thing triggered me. After a few months of doing some kind of background things, teaching me a few different tools for anxiety, we actually started EMDR, and it was horrible. I felt dead for the first 3 months. I did it every single week. Back up, what is EMDR? I should explain that. I've got notes, but we're word vomiting. EMDR is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. It is a trauma therapy that helps process emotional wounds. My therapist would do this over Zoom. She would move her finger back and forth, and I would watch it and move my eyes. And there is something about that eye movement that reprocesses your emotions. Literally do not understand. Don't get it. Sometimes she will have me tap. We'll do different things, but I don't understand it truly. But what I know is I felt emotionally dead after. I didn't understand what was happening, but I knew something was different, so I kept going. I knew something was changing, and even though I felt worse, my anxiety got worse, my night terrors got worse, I just felt horrible emotionally. I knew we were unpacking things. My therapist talks about it like I had a basement full of unorganized crap. I had to take it upstairs and organize it. It's gonna start spilling out and become messier and overwhelming, but we're organizing it, putting it back so it's useful instead of just a pile of crap. That was happening, and it was really hard. I still don't know how she does it. She wouldn't ask me a ton of questions. We'd usually start with a memory. She would have me bring up some sort of thought that I was having, that I was carrying with me, and we'd find the memory linked to that. I would tell her different memories from the thoughts I had. One that I've been doing recently is it's my fault. If something goes wrong, it's my fault. That has been a thought that I have carried with me. And so she has me go back and say, what are the memories that are linked to this? What are the memories that come up and what emotions come up? Usually we'd go to the earliest one and then we'd do the eye movement thing. She would say, what comes up for you? That was it. I would tell her what comes up. I don't understand how it works, but we'd do it for maybe 20 seconds, take a break. I'd tell her what came up. Then we'd do it again, and it would just start spilling these things and these emotions and these memories and things coming out. After about 6 months, there was a turning point. My anxiety started to lighten up. My night terrors were less. Everything emotionally was getting better. It was getting easier, although I'm still doing it 4 years later. The first year and a half was the biggest change for me. Those first 6 months, everything got worse. The next year, things were getting better. They'd go up and down. I'd find things that triggered me, but we would work through it. And she'd help me to see what my anxiety was telling me. Sometimes she'd have me draw my anxiety. In the middle of the night when I'd wake up anxious, I would draw out whatever came out. And sometimes it made no sense. And then the next day I would look at it and I would talk to her and it would connect to something triggering me. And it was interesting how my anxiety was trying to tell me something. I have done so much healing with people, things, triggers. Everything seems easier now. Although I'm still doing it because things come up, the overall heaviness, 90% of that heavy weight has been lifted. And now we are in maintenance mode. EMDR is becoming more talked about, and I'm so excited about that. I've heard celebrities talk about it who have had trauma and things, and it's coming out more. And I highly recommend it, especially if you've been through something traumatic. If there's one thing you take from this video, ask yourself, what is my anxiety trying to tell me? It's not random. Something's going on. It could be there's something biological going on, a chemical imbalance or something, Or it could be that your brain is trying to tell you that something's not right, that something's off, something needs to be dealt with. Emotions you've been carrying need to be dealt with. And that is what mine was telling me. And now I can see that, and it is just so beautiful. I feel like I'm seeing the world through a less foggy lens. Night terrors are almost non-existent. If I do have one, I can almost always pinpoint exactly what it was from. And it's very rare now that those come up. Night anxiety occasionally comes up, but nowhere near the level it used to be. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that like button. If you've tried EMDR, let me know in the comments. What was your experience like with it? And I will see you on my next video. Bye, my friends.